Did actually just do this video 20 minutes ago, so I'm going to have to just triple check that I am recording, because I've literally just wasted 20 minutes of my life talking to myself. But yeah, starting off on the dollar. Really interested in the dollar. It doesn't always show up as clear as this, but just did usual Saturday routine, do my analysis, check through the pairs, see if I can find any value throughout the pairs. And the dollar is looking very clean at the minute on the daily time frame. Now, we actually seen the dollar break out of this 4-hour trend line, which has been running for over a year. 503 days, so well over a year and a half. And as we know, if price comes down aggressively, it usually will go back up to either manipulate traders or put them into the wrong direction, or sometimes even just reverse completely and just be a complete fake out. But just due to how much of a deep break it was of the trend line, I didn't think dollar was actually going to recover as quick as it has. But now I can see why, because we have now hit the 618 on the daily time frame, which we know the 618 is the most prominent level between the Fibonacci levels, and you are most likely to see a reaction from this level. Not every time, but on a probability scale, definitely. Now, if we actually look at what price has actually been doing from this higher, they've been making obviously a series of higher highs and higher lows and lower highs. So coming down, ABCD patterns, and forming the new ABCD pattern from this high here, which is in line with the retest and a high on the lower time frames, which you can see on the 4-hour here. So a high and a retest. Now, just go back onto the daily time frame. We can see that there actually is a trend line as well, which is coming across. Now, the trend line has barely got anything to do with this. It's just an added confluence. The more of what I'm actually looking at here is the characteristics of price action and how it's actually reacting and how it's actually forming. So it's obviously moving down and up, and then looking for that down from here back to the 96 figure. Now we go on to the 4-hour time frame and then start to look for some psychological levels that we can use to show us that price is being protected at these levels. We've got the 97 figure here on the right, which you can see very clear. And we haven't had that much of a follow through from this level. We've had a pin bar, and then we've had the follow through, which is great. Friday close and very as deep as it could on the sell side. So if price can come below the 97 figure and then close below the 97, or we can see some protection at this level, and then more likely we're going to see the 96 level come back down into the presence. So what I want to be doing here is simply waiting for how we are following through from this bearish candle, and then maybe even looking for price to come back up into this area here and then pull back down. Now, for price to actually pull up into this area here will actually work out for us on other pairs, because I've got analysis on gold here. 1 hour 0.5 Fibonacci and 2 retest regions in a trend line. So if the dollar can actually pull back and then make me there, this will help with gold pulling up to this region, because I am looking for sell opportunities on gold next week due to the momentum from this last test of the highs. Now, gold just randomly started rallying last week, but it must have not had enough liquidity for price to pull back from this one test above the weekly resistance on here. So if we look onto here, we've got this high here, and then we go back onto the 4-hour time frame, and we can see that we've actually formed a double top. So as I actually got here as well, price cannot retest their level that we want or into our area of value where we would actually see where the value is. Then are we going to be looking for session reversals? So simply looking for AEM reversals or New York reversals. And this is exactly what I did last week to actually get an entry on oil. So I missed this retest level here and all these highs. To show you on the 4-hour time frame, you can see here. So this retest level here and this high. So I missed the initial test. But what I did is I didn't just go, right, I've missed it. I went to my next strategy of looking at how I can get into the market and seeing that the Asia flow was buys, and then we switch into London, and then boom, price rejected, and then boom, straight down. This is exactly what I'm going to be looking for on gold if we can't get into this level. So using what's happened on the weekly time frame and then 4-hour time frame, two double tops. I mean, a double top, not two double tops, so a double top here, 1433 level, and then the momentum fully flowing through on Friday. Then it's clear to us that price may come down. But as I always say, we don't want to be getting attached to sells on gold just due to how ridiculous gold is moving and parabolic price movements continuously playing through every single week. But again, we have got some signs of reversals due to price completely rejecting this high here and then seeing a big follow through. So we got basically from the rally is back to where it rallied from. So it's very interesting to see that. So if we can just hopefully get the dollar to pull back and then come back down, but then if it doesn't, then just looking for 8 a.m. reversals and 1 p.m. reversals for all the days. I'm not going to copy and paste all the days. You know exactly what I'm doing here. So yeah, looking for those. Moving on to Euro GBP. Rejecting this high here. Rejecting this last bit of high, which was a very big wick, showing us the supply at this actual area, and then spending all last week just rejecting it, rejecting, several rejections, and then seeing some sort of M formation on Friday, which is interesting to see. So we got that one wick going, and boom, wick above, trapping all the buys that people are buying above this level and then coming back down. So yeah, looking for rejections on Euro GB to continue down and then pull back through this trend line and then retesting back this region at least. Now this is in strong correlation with GBP pairs, and as everyone knows, if you've been following the markets recently, GBP has been having the worst time of its life, making new lows, just continuously making new lows and not really showing any signs of any decent pullbacks at all. But now we are in a very big position to actually pull back, and this takes me to GP CAD, where we can see that GP CAD's actually up where you are. Yeah, so we go into their weekly time frame. Weekly support is being met, and a 0.78 figure is being met as well. So enough for us to actually consider taking buys from here. Now, we're not just taking buys off here because it's weekly support and it's a 786. We need to actually retest all these broken lows which have been broken, which price usually does break. Usually we do see a break and retest usually, but again, momentum is very, very high to the downside at the minute. So unless we break this trend line, break the support, then that'll obviously invalidate my idea, and then I'll be moving on and I'll be just leaving GP CAD because I'm getting sick of it, to be honest. But this is what the market does. It wants to tire you out, and it wants you to put you into positions where you're going to make wrong decisions and then obviously make you lose money. But we are just taking what we're seeing in the markets here, where price is actually hitting an area of value. Now, let's be honest. Yeah, price is moving down really hard. Would you really, no matter if you didn't know anything about the strategy, would you really want to be selling into support and selling into a 786 figure, especially since all this selling's come down and we've not had a decent pullback yet? Because look at all this. You buy, sell, big buys, big buys, big buys, big buy, sells. Just completely ranging, and then all of a sudden sell. So looking for something like this, just a pullback, just a 200 pip pullback. These are 600 pullbacks. I just want a 200 pip pullback into this region here, into these lows, and then obviously looking for follow through just due to price break and all the support showing that momentum is to the downside. So this is again in correlation with my GBP USD idea as well. Swing low on the 4-hour, closed below, and closed back above, leaving a wick below these highs, below these lows. Price rally 276 pips from this level here, so we should see some sort of reaction from this level at least, maybe back into the 1.26 figure, and then selling back down again if the dollar continues to go down, or if the dollar continues to go up, or we get loads of GBP data or even more Brexit headlines. So that's pretty much it. We've got GJ as well, actually. Very GBP orientated this week. So 4-hour swing low, been met, closed below on Thursday, maybe even Wednesday, actually, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, so that was Wednesday, closed well above it and then back up. Price actually moved 240 pips from this low previously. I'm looking for 120 pips, which would be a 15% measure of this move, which would take us back into an area of value where we can sell it again, because we do not want to be selling GJ this low. You really just do not want to be selling GJ this low. You want to be obviously selling high or selling at a decent price, especially not selling in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, really good setups this week. Always is good setups. It's just the market changes and sometimes your analysis just gets invalidated. But we've got a head start here, and I'm looking forward to capitalising on any opportunities that are given this week due to circumstances in the markets and where we can actually benefit from the most. That's it, guys. Thanks very much. If anyone's got any questions or anything, give me a shout.